Sports Center.
San Antonio Spurs return to action tonight for Las Vegas Summer League play, where they are 2-1 right now. They take on the Utah Jazz with tip-off set for 8:30, and that game will be televised on Amazon Prime. Speaking of the Spurs, rookie big man Jane Quaintance underwent successful surgery on his right knee, according to the team, who will provide updates as they become appropriate.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That goal is history. A walk-off home run.
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge.
What's up, gang? Can't stop me now.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I am James Pleasure. Appreciate y'all joining me, however you may be joining me. Whether that's 94.1 on your FM dial, if you happen to be locked in and listening live at sasportstar.com, via our AA Best Bail Bonds audio player, or if you happen to be watching the show live on YouTube, that's right. All of our shows on YouTube, just go there, search SA Sports Star. You can like, subscribe, comment along with the show as it happens, or you can always feel free to call in the old-fashioned way at 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 if you want to be a part of the conversation. Love to have the conversation with y'all as we get going here on Extra Innings with Pleasure. And we'll get into the Spurs, Summer League, and the ticket gate, if you'll call it, with what happened to Rudy Lopez from the San Antonio Express News article. But I want to start off with the Dallas Cowboys because it has been a very quiet offseason for the first time in as long as I can remember for the Dallas Cowboys, where there hasn't been much in the way of news and stories. And that continued today as the franchise deadline came and passed. No extension for George Pickens. He's going to report to training camp and is reportedly going to go through it. So it's been quiet, except for one small blip on the radar. And earlier this morning, Robin Vick talking about it on the Morning Huddle.
You ready to serpentine? AJ and Rob. A new show titled AJ and Rob. I'm the second one there, Rob. AJ, not here. Got the churros.
Yeah.
You got the drove through the Loco Taco Hell and ordered the churros con olives.
He drank the water.
Can I have the potato and parasite tacos, please? Double the parasites, please. We do expect him to return. Almost as skinny as Vic Brown sitting over there.
I know. You saw I lost a lot of weight right now.
Lean and mean.
I look hot for a minute.
Now, we're going to talk Dallas Cowboys, but Vic, can you adjust the cam? Can you pull out just a little bit? I want to do something ceremonial. And this is for, if you're a brigade bar type, I want you to pay attention very closely. See if you can pull. Just give me the wide shot.
Oh, hold on.
I'm going to direct it. Give me a wide shot because I want to, we're going to do something ceremonial here. And this brigade bar, this is for the 100 or so of y'all, and I'm probably that are watching.
Let me see if
so I want you to see the transition. I'm going to go ahead and get started.
Hold on. There it is.
All right, so we got the wide shot. I don't know if y'all can read this, but we're going to go ahead and cross.
There we go.
Out. That's gone. That's gone.
Yeah.
And this is the A. Let's put the phone number because I'm kind of alone here.
Yeah.
3102. That was going to be my number. Let's cross that out. One guy already has the number. I don't even want to get into that. Did I tell you this, Vic?
No. What happened?
My best friend somehow acquired more information about me.
Oh, what's his name?
No, I don't. We're not gonna feed the stray cat, but
Okay.
Sebastian.
I know who you're talking. Okay, I get it.
It's a whole strange thing. I don't even want to get into it, but those who know, interesting turn of events. So I'm writing the phone number up here. Let's put it right under here.
No, right.
Where do you want me to put it?
No, right. What? Alexandra. No, who said it? Mike. Who up? Mike Hubby. It's the Choro and Rob show.
El Choro. 210 656 3776. Read it, learn it, live it. Welcome on to the AJ and Rob show. A brand new day around here. I lost the cap to my magic marker. And I've got the dreaded left-handers smear on there. I hope we didn't invest too much in that piece of board behind me.
Nah. Oh, maybe. Yeah, because they had it made.
We've had black tape on it for 6 weeks. It just seems to fit the attitude around here. Welcome on to the AJ and Rob. We're minus AJ. He does have the choro, so if you don't know what that means, go look it up. But he's got the poops. So does Vic. Vic's got him, and but he came and is fighting through it, and as we speak, might be fighting through it even more so. We talked to NFL season just around the corner. We're almost there. It's hard to imagine that we've made it this far, and it really hasn't been that painful, to be honest with you. I think the Spurs and all that they did kind of gave at least this market a little bit of momentum in, and then the World Cup grabbed the baton, and it kept us occupied, and we weren't looking up to the star and trying to figure out, is Jerry up to something weird yet again? Can our guys live up to the bill? Does this new defensive coach have all the stuff we think he has? Did all these defensive draft picks, are they going to show up and do what basically Dan Quinn did a couple years back and really kind of transform this defense? And will it be able to play all the way through? Is that running game that they wanted so desperately to lead this offense? Is it going to be appropriate? Can they run the ball? Will this offensive line of number 1 first-round draft pick over and over and over finally find its footing? And can this defense finally get past the Micah shadow? Can they finally yes, he's gone. Yes, poor drafting and ill-advised choices and high free agent exits. It's all gone. We got a new coach. Everything's changed. Are we ready? And those kind of just laid dormant, as with most NFL teams. But the Cowboys, they ain't most NFL teams. So there's always got to be something, right? So, yes, so this is a guy, and again, this isn't huge, but this is the Dallas Cowboys. Charles Snowden. Cowboys went and signed him last month. He'd already had, when they signed him, a little bit of a checkered past. Not a horrible dude, just poor mistake, poor decisions. He had a DWI back in 2025. And they knew it. Well, the judgment came down yesterday. And while this isn't going to be a death blow to a team that he's not going to be relied upon for everything, but he's certainly going to play a role in this game, is going to be suspended for the first 3 games of the season. The Cowboys signed him, and here we sit. Now, he's going to be able to practice with the team, and I don't know how much he'll talk about it. The Blitz is going to be out there for our live on-the-spot training camp coverage, which is always so outstanding. They're going to be heading out there in a couple weeks, and I hope they get a chance to talk to this guy because he is going to play a role. But this is one of those things that, on his face, you go, well, it's the NFL, and, he made a poor decision, and everybody should get a second chance, especially if they're contrite and they do their best to fix things and carry on and accept and acknowledge the mistake and failure that they had. Carry on about it. But can the Cowboys afford that? I know this seems just kind of a little prickly thing on the beginning of a season, but these are the kind of things that, man, here we go again. Here we go again. It's not important in the grand scheme of things, but the Cowboys always seem to start this way. Just a little thing on the sidebar, just a little symptom. It's that first cough when you go, I don't feel very good. It was just a cough. It's just one guy with a little suspension. But if you allow that to kind of float through your organization, if you allow the little loose stuff, there's always a little bit more loose stuff. And not that I think there is with the Cowboys, because I do think that this franchise at this moment under Schottenheimer, under the situation they find themselves with their quarterback, with the talent that they've managed to put together, that this is kind of it. This is kind of it for this iteration, this generation of the Cowboys. This will be Dak's last drama-free year. Because no matter the outcome, we're about to come out the other end of his whopping, gigantic contract. We're about to come to the other side where he now becomes a viable and cost-effective, very good quarterback that can help a lot of teams. And that coincides with a team that might be coming to the end of their relationship with Dak. Now, it's not this year, and it might not ever happen. But this, it feels like, is the summation of the Dak Prescott generation. The 10-year run that Dak has had, you feel like, well, this is really it. Now, not that next year he might not be around, because I do think he'll be around, but it will be under a situation, will he or won't he, where, how, do the Cowboys want to pay? Does he want to finish up a Cowboy? Does he want to go someplace? Does anybody else want him? All that will kick into gear next year. So this is the last year of peace before we go into the quarterback drama that has been pretty consistent for the Cowboys for 30 years. And this has been a time of relative peace on that front. Now, there's always going to be haters, but the fact is, Dak was always ensconced. We just were circling around the edge. And it was not a matter of when, but it was always a matter of if, or not a matter of if, but when, that he was going to sign deals and stay with them. But I do think both parties are now reaching that point in the lifespan of a quarterback, a successful quarterback at a franchise. Whether his team has been successful is certainly debatable, but he has the numbers to kind of justify his existence. This is his last year there. And you want everything to kind of be copacetic. Everybody on the same page, no drama, so that he, the face, the dude, can carry this franchise one last time. Can they get to the finish line and get someplace they've never been before? Plus, because never been before would be a nice playoff win. And I think the expectations are even further because the weight of not just playoff win, but march toward a Super Bowl is expected. This is the last summer of relative peace. And as we head into training camp and all that it is, and the season that's just around the corner, here we go, Dallas Cowboy again. Here we go. Not a dude we know, but pretty typical. We signed him under odd pretenses, and the Cowboys got bit. He'll play, but he's only going to play 14 games. The first 3 he ain't going to be there, and the season's going to be tough enough. And we already are dealing with Dallas Cowboys stuff. It's already here. Don't forget, we are your home for the Dallas Cowboys. The Blitz is going to be there. If you need to know about the Cowboys, we've always been the place to be, and this will continue to be that this year. The boys on the Blitz are always going to have Steven. We're always going to have Shoddy on Fridays. And by the way, we're going to have Coach Traylor, too, UTSA football. We'll start digging into that in the coming weeks.
It's going to be fun. Football's almost here. We had Jeremy Urban on a little bit earlier on the Blitz and getting ready for Trinity football. I'm sure Jeff Traylor will join us getting ready for the season and all throughout the season as he normally does. And, of course, as he said, Coach Brian Schottenheimer going to end up joining the guys in the morning huddle each week as they get through the season. And I'm telling you, the Cowboys, it feels different this year. There's been a lot of things that could have, like the George Pickens situation, set this thing into a similar offseason that we've seen with questions and focus being commanded elsewhere other than football all offseason long, but they have maintained and continued to push towards addressing that defense, getting things right. And now the entire focus is, can that defense take that leap under Christian Parker, as Rob said, in a similar fashion as it did under Dan Quinn when he took over a god-awful piss-poor defense from Mike Nolan. It's going to be very interesting to see if there can be similar results because they have increased the talent level. And from all reports, the buy-in with Christian Parker and the relatability of him have been extraordinary. We'll get more into the Dallas Cowboys as we continue here on Extra Innings with Pleasure. RJ Ochoa, fan favorite, former co-host of the Saturday Morning Hangover with myself, and you know him as the managing editor of bloggingtheboys.com. He ended up joining the Blitz a little bit earlier today to talk about the ongoings and a potential guarantee made by Brian Schottenheimer on the Twin Takes podcast. We'll get into all that as we continue here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
On the second AJ and Rob show, we expect a full complement of talent, talking World Cup, figuring out what's going on in the NFL, and did the Spurs get the win last night? So much to do. Get here early. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hot summer days and high energy bills are on the way. Upgrade your home's old leaky windows this month with Window Nation at 50% off all window styles. Yes, 50% off new beautiful energy efficient windows, plus 0 down, 0 interest, and no payments for 2 years. Call now 866-200-8670 or windownation.com. In select markets, trust our family of brands, New South Window and ArmorView. That's 866-200-8670 or windownation.com to book a consultation.
$30 million in guaranteed prizes. Cash in this football season in Las Vegas with 3 Circus Sports contests. Entry starting at $1,000, all with no rate. Circa Million, 18 weeks of point spread action. Circus Survivor, pick one winner each week, no point spread. And the Big Daddy, Circa Grandissimo, with a $100,000 entry fee. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. $30 million guaranteed. Visit circusports.com for details.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from big wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
Progressive provides protection for your boat and other outdoor vehicles so you can explore new things.
Oh, I can finally try pesto.
We meant like water skiing.
I've just never had pesto.
Or maybe take the boat somewhere new.
I mean, is pesto spicy or sweet? Oh, guess we'll find out, right?
Right. Bundle home or auto insurance with your boat, RV, or motorcycle and stay protected with Progressive while you explore.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not ready for pesto.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and the Gomez Law Firm present the 2026 Back to School Drive. Saturday, August 1st from 11 till 1 or while supplies last at the Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Free backpacks and school supplies for all school-age children while supplies last. Saturday, August 1st from 11 till 1. Sponsored in part by the College for Healthcare Professionals, AI United Insurance, Central Med, Tamalitos Restaurants, Somerset Academy, and Romo Door Supply.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I am James Pleasure. Appreciate y'all rolling along with me this evening as we take you up till 7 o'clock. And Training camp just a couple of weeks away. Of course, San Antonio Sports Star will be there live in person for Dallas Cowboys training camp. Hey, Best Bail Bonds Dallas Cowboys training camp, always powered by AA's Best Bail Bonds 225-2121 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. And as we get ready for it, like I said, it's been a very quiet off season. So what could that potentially mean for the Cowboys? Well, earlier today, RJ Ochoa, bloggingtheboys.com, ended up joining Jason and Joe on the Blitz to discuss those storylines or lack thereof as they head into training camp.
Let's talk some Cowboys football. A couple of weeks away from Oxnard. We will be out there in a couple of weeks for our AA Best Bail Bonds Dallas Cowboys training camp coverage. RJ Ochoa from bloggingtheboys.com here on the Buyers Barricades guest line. I'm sure with one eye on the TV as Argentina just missed on a nice set piece. It's still scoreless 0-0 in the 38th minute. RJ, how's your Wednesday?
It's going great. I think you have I know you've done a lot of play-by-play in your career, but I think you could certainly get on the pitch and mix that in as well. You're a natural.
He's a soccer expert, RJ. You haven't heard?
I mean, you just basically do a talk show until there's a goal, and then you scream for 48 seconds that there was a goal, and then you go about your conversation and the best way to do a brisket.
Hey, I mean, I would listen. You know what I mean? I would listen start to finish, and even for the post-game show, you've got my ears at least.
You're such a liar, or RJ. All right, Brian Schottenheimer. The jokes are everywhere. Although he said it on a podcast the other day, but it's not the first time this offseason that he has mentioned what he hopes to be doing on February 14th, Valentine's Day. Because it's middle of July, is that why this is resurfacing and seemingly a big deal now in your mind?
I guess, the quote is what it is. It feels, did you guys read the massive Seth Wickersham, Sean Payton, Denver Broncos thing last week?
I could not read the whole thing of that. No.
Okay, well, you saw the Spark Notes. There was a line in there last year. This was the beginning of the article. The Broncos played a preseason game in in San Francisco. And apparently Sean Payton told the locker room, we're going to end our season here too. It's the side of the Super Bowl. It's like, okay, man, maybe I'm just getting older and jaded, but it's like, do y'all just have the same 27 things that you just cycle through? You know what I mean? Like the same sayings and the same, because the first time I heard that, I was like, badass. I was like, holy crap, I would run through a wall for this quote. I get where Brian Schottenheimer is coming from. While I've poked fun, the thing I think is very cool that he has said often is he's declaring when the Cowboys win a Super Bowl that he'll also have a ring fashioned for his father. I think that's very cool. I think that's a cool goal to set and a cool, the guy's going about it the right way. The guy's going about it the way I think we all would if we were head coaches of an NFL team. And at the very least, I think that makes you want to see him succeed.
Well, I mean, again, you don't blame him for saying that. What's he going to say? Nah, we'll probably be on vacation on February 14th. So, now I don't blame him for saying it, but you know how it is, RJ, and I know you've seen it all out there. The jokes, about what they get good tickets, the blah, blah, blah. So it's out there, and it's just easy to make fun of the Cowboys where you wouldn't do that necessarily with the Denver Broncos. I mean, the Cowboys are the Cowboys after all.
Yeah, I mean, imagine the gall of someone to schedule a vacation for what was technically the championship run of one of their favorite teams or teams closest to their heart. I can imagine anyone who, would do that. Honestly, again, maybe I'm old and jaded here too, but the jokes are kind of, if you want to, I've said this many times, if you want to bag on the Cowboys, ask me. I'll hook you up. I'll supply you the material. But, today I've seen the same joke a million times. Spain has more playoff wins at AT&T Stadium than the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, we saw that. UConn got that treatment early on when they had the Final Four. The Packers one is the way more embarrassing one because that's an actual NFL team. So, These people, these haters. And again, I will hate on the team. Just, refresh your material. That's really what I'm asking for at this point.
Although the Dak superimposed in Mbappe's uniform was actually pretty creative. I did like that one. But in the same week, Dak Prescott ranked number 6, and the world didn't just fall apart with laughter and jokes.
This is really weird. This is the true Ricky Bobby, you don't know what to do with my hands type thing. I don't know how many times I've fought in the name of Dak Prescott on just this radio station, let alone, online and in comment section. And so it is kind of weird. Eagles fans are down bad. If you look on the internet, like they are really falling apart at the way these rankings win, obviously involving Jalen Hurts. But maybe that is maybe there is this callous to the joke at this point that we are all just capable of saying, yeah, this dude's really good. And he has his flaws. He has his moments where he has fallen short. But I do think I said this, when I was doing the morning huddle with Rob, the only benefit to how purposefully toxic and silly the Cowboys were the last 2 years was that it shined a light on how difficult things were for the Dak Prescotts of the world, for the CeeDee Lambs of the world. I mean, the way the Cowboys went about just stirring the pot of toxicity really, I think, changed the national narrative in that particular respect. So I'm really happy. And I think that's fair. I mean, you could pull and you could argue, I think, but I think everyone who's ahead of Dak, the top 5, obviously, I'm not going to lose any sleep over. I know some people feel some way about Lamar, but the guy's got 2 MVPs. I'm good with him being ahead of Dak.
Okay, I guess that's all right. I suppose. Look, I don't have any problem with Dak being number 6. I think Dak Prescott is a quality NFL quarterback, and he deserves to be in the top 10. I have no problem with that. I had some problems with some of the others, RJ, I'll be honest with you, like, I don't know, Justin Herbert and Sam Darnold not making the top 10 list. I don't know. Tell me I'm wrong.
Sweet Joe.
But look, let me just give you the man won 28 games in the last 2 years and a Super Bowl, by the way. So I don't know. That's a pretty good stat line to me.
Including his Minnesota run makes your argument, like one that we won't just laugh you out the front door with. I mean, because most people are just leaning on, and it's stupid to say just the Super Bowl, obviously, but to your point, I mean, he's been highly successful in different offensive systems, different teams. You could certainly point to falling short, obviously, in the wild card game with Minnesota, but you could also point to obviously playing tall throughout the run to the Super Bowl last year. But, I mean, you could also argue he was surrounded by Kevin O'Connell, who's sort of the quarterback whisperer outside of J.J. McCarthy, and Clint Kubiak, who obviously parlayed that into a gig, no pun intended, with Las Vegas. So, I mean, there's context to everything here. I'm good with Sam Darnold not being in the top 10, but he was the first honorable mention, if that makes you feel better.
Yeah, that's great.
Sure.
Yes.
RJ Ochoa, bloggingtheboys.com with us here on the Blitz. I think we're, about 15 minutes away from the tag deadline. And according to all the reports out there, the Cowboys and George Pickens are not doing any negotiations. Now, granted, Steven said that a long time ago, but you did wonder, or I did, maybe there is something that could come together late. Maybe. Doesn't seem that way, but Jory Epstein also reporting he is on track to participate in training camp. The whole thing just seems surprising to me.
Dude, I mean, this whole offseason has been Twilight Zone moment after Twilight Zone moment. I have no idea why he signed it. I really don't. The only time where this got a little sticky was when he said he was going to sign it right before the draft, when the Cowboys were connected to Jordan Tyson briefly, forks up, and then didn't sign it for a little while. It kind of looked like, dude, were you trying to throw off their draft strategy type thing to make yourself more valuable? But everyone here has played nice. I mean, everyone here has done what they said they were going to do. Obviously, he has yet to literally report to training camp. But, I mean, again, I attribute this, if I have to attribute it to one thing, most specifically to David Mulugeta and his company believing that this is simply the best way to handle being franchise tag. It just so happens to involve the Dallas Cowboys, but we have seen time after time after time, player after player after player lose. Every player who's in this spot does the same thing, right? And the same thing generally happens to them. They don't report, they don't show up, they play poorly in the tag year, and then, yes, they do get paid, by somebody else, a new team maybe, but they're coming off of a subpar season, and they've impacted their earning potential. So I think they've said, hey, dude, you have to play this hand out. And it's unfortunate that it's against the Cowboys because we're going to make them look like geniuses. Because now Steven looks like the man. I mean, truly, Steven looks like, this whole thing needed a hero, and he ripped everything off, and he had the cape underneath and was good to go. And I can't believe that. So fate finally smiled upon the Cowboys. So over the offseason, we'll see how the fall and winter go.
Well, and it's about time, and I think you're seeing, in my mind, when you see stuff like that, Stephen Jones maybe taking over a little bit of the decision making, or the majority of it, if you want to say that, because I could see a scenario where Jerry would have caved and signed a George Pickens, and I think Stephen said, "Look, we need to see one more year out of this guy and see what he's all about." He had a great year last year. Let's see what happens again this year.
I mean, think about, and I'm not the first or 5,000th person to say this, but think about how absent Jerry has been in general. There was the promo that went out today because they obviously renamed it AT&T Stadium after hosting their last World Cup match. But I mean, I'm truly asking the question. This isn't rhetorical. What was the last non-Cowboys appearance you saw Jerry make? He spoke obviously around the draft. That's a Cowboys-related appearance. I would have bet everything that we would have had him on record 6 times around the whole World Cup. He didn't speak once. I mean, what was the last thing that he was swarmed by reporters around?
It's been a while.
I mean, it
Isn't
has
that
been
crazy?
No, I mean, look,
that's a crazy phenomenon.
He does have a big old yacht. I'm surprised he only went to one World Cup game. But you're right.
He got booed,
and he got booed, and he gave up his fancy personal suite. He had to sit somewhere else.
He probably made a lot of money off of that.
Oh, he made a lot of money over the last. What they have 11 games. He just made more money in the. Were you asking that question than all of us combined, right? I mean, that's just what Jerry does. But I think to RJ's point, he has been kind of out of the picture. But you know what? So have the Cowboys. It's not like you're seeing a lot of Steven. I know Brian Schottenheimer was seen in a handful of the games. Various players were seen at the game, but not the Cowboys brass. And maybe that was a FIFA thing, that they're the only VIP people that can be there, that want to be shown on TV. Who knows?
I think that's possible, but to your point, expanding the idea, the podcast Brian Schottenheimer was on, the Twins Take podcast. With all due respect, these guys haven't been at the center of the media universe. You know what I'm saying? Typically, these types of, because every now and then you get this one off season that brings in a bunch of quotes like this, and it's typically like a sit down with Mina Kimes for a 5,000 word expose type thing. That wasn't the case, and it kind of came out of nowhere, right? No one knew he was going on this podcast or anything like that. I mean, they have just lurked and worked. It is, I've been covering this team professionally for 10 years now. I won Rock the Mic almost 10 years ago. I can't believe it, and I've never experienced anything like this. Whether it translates into anything remains to be seen, but this has been quite surreal.
I'm sure Jerry will be on display once training camp begins in a couple of weeks. He's going to be there. By the way, I don't know if I didn't know this. Will Greer is retired.
Well, it just got announced 15 minutes ago.
Well, I'm just saying.
It was 20 minutes ago, dude.
Well, I'm just saying he retired. I didn't know that.
The question, and Nick Harris tweeted this out. At one point, the Cowboys talked about adding him to the coaching staff. He still wanted to play. Now that he's not, he retires as a Carolina Panther. Do you think he ends up back in Dallas somewhere on the staff?
I do, which I think speaks to the influence of Dak, and that would be crazy. That would be another backup quarterback that would go on to coach Dak Prescott. That's crazy, right? Like that he would have had multiple dudes who backed him up that went on to coach him. But ultimately, I'm great with consistency in that regard. I said actually also on this radio station almost a decade ago that they should have kept Mark Sanchez around because Dak liked him. That aged differently, obviously, over the course of the decade that followed. But what Dak likes, Dak should get. He's the most important player on the team and the best, as this week's ESPN rankings suggest.
Well, CeeDee Lamb's got he's number 6 too in the wide receiver list.
Okay, so you can draft CeeDee Lamb first. I'll draft Dak Prescott first, and we'll see how that goes. I mean, I love CeeDee, but that's just the nature of this game, you know.
All right,
RJ, you're an internet savvy guy. I am waiting close to the end. You really fell for that obvious AI Hulk-looking photo of Dak Prescott. How do you, RJ Ochoa, actually fall for that?
Yeah, I mean, there are a few times that I've got like that. They're rare, to your point, but I was busy. My son was asking me for something. We're getting him into soccer, so he was wanting to. So I saw it, and the fight sucks. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was just like my mind was frazzled, and so that's my bad. You know what I mean? But I dropped to the ground, did my push-ups type thing. You know what I mean? We all have those moments.
And for those of y'all that may not see it, there was a photo of Dak Prescott at the fights, supposedly looking like he had undergone a Chris Hemsworth transformation when he gets ready to play Thor. His arms were yoked. Obviously not true, but he is in fantastic shape and he has slimmed down substantially. He looks a lot like Tom Brady did towards the end of his career as he started looking better and better and more lean and pliable, if you will. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. The San Antonio Spurs, well, they get set to continue Summer League action tonight. That's a game that you can catch against the Utah Jazz at 8:30 coming up on Amazon Prime, as they are 2-1 so far throughout the Las Vegas Summer League. Plus, a little news and nugget from yesterday. Earlier this morning, Rob talking about it as they get set to take on that game today. We will discuss as well as we continue here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
George gets justice. The accident wasn't your fault, but now you're facing pain, bills, and uncertainty. You don't have to do it alone. At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, they listen, explain your options, and fight for what you deserve. No upfront costs, no stress, just real help when you need it. If you've been injured, it's time to get George. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers at 210-225-0909 or visit GetGeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagle for DraftKings. Did you know that DraftKings is now live in all 50 states? Yes, that means us right here in Texas. The cup is down to the final matches. One trophy, one champion. DraftKings has you covered for every single one. The DraftKings app is now live in Texas. So whether you're catching the early kickoff before work or the late match at the bar, you're in on every minute, every match, every moment, all in one app right here in Texas, the world's biggest stage right in the palm of your hand. New DraftKings customers sign up with code 941 SportsStar. Spend $5 to get $200 in total rewards over 21 days. That's code 941 SportsStar. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click to claim. Issued in non-withdrawable predictions, dollars that expire in 1 year. Ends July 19th. Terms dkng.co/predictions promo.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as... That's 888-665-0696.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This is Joel Frederick. From all of us at Quartermoon, thank you. Through the years and through the growth of this city, you've trusted us to be there when it matters most. For plumbing repairs, air conditioning repairs, new system installs, and so much more. Now, you're going to start seeing a new Quartermoon logo. It's a fresh look, but it reflects the same company we've always been. Rooted in hard work, family values, fair pricing, and caring for people the right way. Quartermoon Plumbing, AC, and Heating. 210-651-5899.
License number TACLA 141074E and 16004.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Let's be honest. Watching the Rangers is better when you got something on the line. On Rangers game days, call your shot with the morning huddles. Rangers double dinger payday. Pick the Ranger you think will send one into the seats. He hits 1, you're going to a Rangers game. He hits 2. Now you've just been upgraded. Tickets and a hotel stay. That's what we call getting paid. Wake up with the morning huddle. Make your pick and win with the morning huddle's Rangers double dinger payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers.
The Aggies play here. This is Andrew Monaco, and you're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings of Pleasure here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I am James Pleasure. Appreciate y'all rolling along with me. You can follow me on Twitter at I Am Pleasure. I'm actually on all social media forums at I Am Pleasure. You can get to the station at SA Sports Star. Spurs getting set to take on the Utah Jazz tonight in Las Vegas Summer League action. Spurs are 2-1 so far in the Summer League after a slow start. They have turned things around with a couple of big wins. And earlier this morning on the Morning Huddle, Rob talking about the Spurs and their Summer League action and one of the moves that they made yesterday regarding one Harrison Ingram and basically relinquishing his rights to make him an unrestricted free agent.
Yesterday, the Spurs had a rare admittance of failure. You know, that it wasn't a rescinding of the Harrison Ingram contract. He didn't do anything for them to go, nope. He just lost his job. He just didn't grow in to what was expected. And he was given a couple of years. I mean, he's 24. He was given a year, and I think they even thought that he would probably make it in. Now, I'm not saying he's an abject failure. Second rounders aren't supposed to make it. That's why they're in the second round. And Harrison's going to go on and play professionally around the world if he chooses to. He's a smart kid. He's Stanford, North Carolina type. So he's I met him when they drafted him. He's got definitely can go into the private world and do just fine. He's certainly got the pedigree and the degree to show for it, but didn't work out. He got pulled, and on the other side of it, the irony is, it looks like the guy that probably took his spot looks a whole lot like him and is also a second rounder. I think what happened yesterday was Malik Brown has earned and taken Harrison Ingram's spot on the Austin Spurs, with the eye toward being one of those next great four-guy defenders that make very good basketball teams better. And the Spurs, despite best efforts, have been looking for a moment for that guy and haven't found him. Now, they started with Jeremy Sohan. Sohan was a high pick with a multi-skill guy, could do a lot of different things, but he couldn't shoot. At the end of the day, he just couldn't shoot. He could defend, he could pass, he could rebound, but never could learn to shoot. And after a couple of years of that and some very unfortunate mishandling, I think a lot of the problem with Sohan is going to go back to Greg Popovich. And I think I would believe, now I don't know the whole story, but in his heart of hearts, I think Pop looks at the Sohan thing as a failure on his end. The idea that he could play a point guard at his height and at his skill level in the NBA on a bad team trying not to get good was just a tough situation to put that kid in. And he spent half a season trying to learn a position in a game that he'd only been playing for like 6 years, period. Poland's best. So I think at the end of the day, that was an abject failure, though I don't blame Jeremy. I think he was handled poorly. But in his exit, Harrison Ingram arrives, or at least felt like he was the next guy, multi-guy defender, can do everything smart, is a good teammate, not quite the goon or tough guy that Sohan was, but still has a lot of the athleticism to do that. He never learned to shoot. He can't stay either. So onward and upward. Now, Carter Bryant, I do think played a role in that because looks like his defense is a bit ahead of his offense, but it's because his athleticism is through the roof. Malik Brown arrives as a seasoned multi-year, multi-team player. This guy's got as much experience as far as playing basketball than several 2-year pros. He started out at Syracuse playing under Jim Boeheim and finishes up at Duke. His pedigree is extraordinary. His defense, he's the best defender the Spurs have drafted, of course, other than Wemby for obvious reasons, but the best on-ball defender the Spurs have drafted in a long time, and he took Harrison Ingram's job. So congratulations. So goes the transmission of talent. So tonight, we'll see if Malik can add to the team as they try to take on Utah. If there's no other reason to watch, and really this is just glorified grassroots basketball, tonight the Spurs get to play, and I assume he will play A.J. Dubance. I'd like to see him get out there. The number 2 overall pick, or the number 1 overall pick, the guy that started out his first game. I think he had the second highest first game in Vegas League history. Certainly the most in Vegas, something real close. He had 24, 26 points in his first outing. Looked fantastic. Now it's kind of declined since then, but we saw what he's capable of. Then Caleb with the Bulls comes out and gets 35. So he's looked spectacular as well. And to carry on, it looks like all three of the top 3 picks have looked pretty damn good. But tonight the Spurs have an opportunity with Corliss and this team to make it into the playoff. Now that the World Cup's over, we can kind of focus on them getting a game. Maybe they can play through the weekend. It would, that always bodes well. And I saw Corliss Williamson interview the guy, the head coach of the team, the new hire. For those of an age, you might remember him playing at Arkansas. He's been a 10-year NBA coach, and really it looks like he's on a track to get a head coaching gig. And that's when you get to do the summer league. That's really at least for the Spurs, an identification of future talent. This is their G League thing too. This is the Corliss Williams a chance to be evaluated by the suits while he runs a AAU basketball team, quite frankly. But their sets seem to be working. They seem to listen to what he's having to say. He's calling appropriate timeouts, doing all the little things that head coaches need to do. So his tryout looks good, and this will look good on his resume as well.
Does look good on his resume, and it's something that the Spurs definitely, they're pretty good at grooming coaches. We've seen it through Pop's Tree and people that have coached in summer league and gone on to bigger and better around the league. And, Mitch Johnson now firmly in that driver's seat, new assistant with Billy Donovan. And if you missed it, Jane Quaintance undergoes surgery today successfully on that knee. He did mention during his post-draft interview that this was going to be the case, and just checking that box, and we'll see when he is available to play again. But speaking of the Spurs, they've been in the news for other reasons lately, as Ticketgate, as I've been calling it, has been going on with what they've been doing to Spurs season ticket holders who have been selling their tickets. Well, one of those guys that was in the San Antonio Express News article, Rudy Lopez, ended up joining the Blitz today. We'll play you a portion of that, let you know what you get your thoughts on how the Spurs handled it and whether you believe Rudy or if there's more of the story. There's all coming up right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hot summer days and high energy bills are on the way. Upgrade your home's old leaky windows this month with Window Nation at 50% off all window styles. Yes, 50% off new, beautiful, energy-efficient windows, plus 0 down, 0 interest, and no payments for 2 years. Call now, 866-200-8670 or windownation.com. In select markets, trust our family of brands, New South Window and ArmorView. That's 866-200-8670 or windownation.com to book a consultation.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. If pain is slowing you down, you don't have to live with it. We target the source of your pain for fast, lasting relief. No pain pills, no surgery. Most patients notice results in just one visit. We accept most insurance plans, so getting help is easy. Don't wait. Visit Arasti.com today. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti. We fix pain fast.
To find the location nearest you, visit Arasti.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Kohl's knows summer comes with a few family debates, like what's the best ice cream flavor or who gets the good pool noodle. But when it comes to Kohl's summer outfits, everyone's in agreement. They're comfy, they're cool, they're stylish. And the best part, they're 20% off. Make the season a little easier with looks your whole family will sign off on at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. Select styles. Offer ends July 19th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription. And I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it, because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really worked so good. Makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, I cannot wait. It is my dream day. I get to go hang with the camels.
So, stories with Joe and a camel.
Yeah.
On the Blitz.
Yeah.
And whatever sports news is going on.
Yeah.
But it's you and the camel.
Hump day.
Oh, good Lord. It's Thursday.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. San Antonio Sports Star.
Be sure to keep an eye on our socials tomorrow because, heading out to Retama Park, ride some camels. You're definitely going to see what Joe has going on. Of course, if you miss anything from any of the shows, check out the Audio Vault at SA Sports Star, powered by AA Best Bail Bonds, Jeremy Ehrman, Frank Caliendo, Rudy Lopez, RJ Ochoa, all there. You can catch them at sasportstar.com in the Audio Vault, powered by AA Best Bail Bonds. And I don't know, you can go back and listen, but there was a lot that was brought to the forefront in that Rudy Lopez interview that followed up on his interview he did in the San Antonio Express News. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I just feel whether it was true and accurate representation, throwing them out late in game 2 just felt off. And whether he sold raffled, it was in a good place, it was out of a good place. And to his version of the story, they have not contacted him on exactly why, or he has not been able to plead his case in the matter, which for a guy that's had season tickets for 15 years, that just feels off, especially when the tickets that were revoked ended up going to Knicks fans anyway. And I don't know how you remedy this. I understand you're trying to make sure that they all go to Spurs fans and that you maintain a home court advantage. But look, I'm going to try and go to a Chiefs game to watch the Texans play. That's something I want to do in life. People go to that. There are destination things that you want to do and see other stadiums around. And I don't know why this is becoming such a big deal now that Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs have become good again all of a sudden, because we didn't hear it. They were trying to get people in the building there for years. It's just interesting and makes you think about the way things are heading. Remember, start your morning tomorrow, 6 a.m. AJ and Rob show, get you going. Vic Brown producing that show. Of course, the Blitz from 2 to 6. Stories from the Camels. And of course, right back here on Extra Innings. Call your loved ones, check on them. Make sure you check on them, because you never know what people are going through in life. And a simple, hey, how you doing, can change everything. This has been Extra Innings with Pleasure. We'll see you back here tomorrow, right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Star.
Dave Ramsey here, and I love my Connecticut water softener. Right now, with the purchase of a Connecticut water softener, you receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink, complete with a color fixture to match your kitchen. That means cleaner, better tasting water for coffee, cooking, ice, and everyday drinking. The Connecticut